Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Sophia, and today we are going to be talking about the streaming era, or in other words, how streaming has impacted our lives today. In modern times, streaming has become a norm in most of our lives. Whether it be movies or TV shows, streaming has now taken over and replaced previous technology such as cable, DVD players, etc. Let's take a look at how streaming has changed the world and the ways in which we consume our media. Let's start this off by going back to the 90s, a time where scheduled programming on cable and physical media, such as CDs and DVDs, were the norm. This remained the norm for many years up into the 2000s. People all over the world would gather at the TV at certain times to watch the next episode of their favorite show, or go to the store to buy a copy of their favorite movie. I still remember my mother being in the living room watching General Hospital. Nobody was allowed to bother her, or else she'd miss her show. I also remember our family movie nights. My brother and I got to dig through our piles of DVDs and CDs to find a movie we wanted and hoped it wasn't too scratched up and worked properly. Although these are memories that I, and I'm sure many others, are fond of, we were very limited to what we could watch and when we could watch them. The desire for TV to be more convenient and accessible began to grow. In comes Netflix. Netflix is a video streaming platform that we all know and love, but it wasn't always the Netflix that we know today. Netflix was founded in 1997 by Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph. Originally, Netflix was a subscription to receive DVDs by mail with no late fees. The idea to start this company began after Hastings was charged a late fee for a rental movie. In 2007, Netflix shifted their company from renting out movies through the mail to streaming online. This was a huge step in the streaming world, as now people could have on-demand content that they did not have to wait to receive in the mail. There was some initial skepticism due to internet accessibility and quality, but as technology progressed, so did streaming. Around 2010, streaming really began to become a popular thing, and Netflix began to be accompanied by many other streaming services such as Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and many others. Each platform had its own unique offerings with their subscription, but all had one thing in common: movies and shows when you want them and where you want them. There was no longer a need to rush to the TV to watch your scheduled program show or dig through your collection of DVDs to find a good movie. It was all right in front of you in one consolidated place. The different streaming services also began to provide movies and shows of their own, such as Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, The Boys, etc. This collective action in society of switching over to streaming began to increase the streaming services' dominance in the entertainment industry. On-demand viewing quickly began to be the new norm, as people could not only watch on their TVs at home, but on their laptops and cell phones. Why dig through DVDs or surf through cable channels to find something good when everything is all right there on your device? This removed the need for a set schedule to watch TV, and also started the binge-watching culture, or the ability to watch every episode and season of your favorite show all at once. Streaming platforms have reached many people all over the world. This expansion has broken down geographical and cultural barriers. There are many global hits like Squid Game from South Korea or Money Heist from Spain. There is now a universal appeal of streaming content and the cultural exchange it enables. In the words of Clay Shirky, group action gives human society its particular character, and anything that changes the way groups get things done will affect society as a whole. This change will not be limited to any particular set of institutions or functions. For any given organization, the important questions are: when will the change happen, and what will change? The only two answers we can rule out are never and nothing. Streaming is also changing the way in which we engage in experiencing media. Families and individuals can now use multiple devices for media consumption as opposed to sitting as a group in front of a TV. This shifted us away from traditional family time TV to individual and flexible viewing. In the words of Neil Postman, there are two ways by which the spirit of a culture may be shriveled. In the first, the Orwellian culture becomes a prison. In the second, the Huxleyan culture becomes burlesque. Statistically, more and more people are beginning to use streaming services and stray away from cable services. Currently, there are more U.S. households that are subscribed to streaming services and not using cable at all. This is because of many reasons, but most importantly the cost and convenience. It is cheaper to subscribe to a streaming service and more convenient to have everything all in one place. Streaming services have also impacted how content is created overall. Platforms like Netflix and Amazon Prime have high budgets for funding original content, creating competition and production agencies. Many people now go to streaming platforms to create movies and shows. Though streaming and all it has to offer is extremely convenient and great, some people complain of a content overload, or in other words, too much to watch. Some find it very overwhelming when faced with millions of options. For me, personally, sometimes I take longer to find something to watch than it is to watch whatever I end up choosing. For issues like this, many platforms have created recommendations and personalized content to make it easier to find what you are looking for. Overall, the creation of streaming has led to people being able to enjoy media in diverse ways, such as watching not only on your TV, but also your phones and laptops together or alone. Streaming has also played a huge role in reshaping how we connect with stories, entertainment, and even culture. Streaming is also something that is constantly evolving with technological advances. There are many innovations being discussed, such as AI and virtual reality, that will further improve our experiences with streaming and media consumption. To wrap this all up, I'm asking each of you to take a moment to recognize how streaming has personally impacted your life. Did it change it for the better or for the worse?